Hello, welcome to Tuesday Truths here on Leading Our Own Way. Today, we sit down with Steve Moresi, with part one was yesterday, and this conversation brings a kind of honesty that takes years, I think, to earn. Steve found his tribe in Masters basketball, but this conversation goes far deeper than the game. It goes into what really costs to ignore your own self-care, into the weight of generational trauma, into the profound and complicated impact a father can have on a son's life. Steve still struggles today. He will tell you that himself. But he is also a man who believes deeply in coaching, in mentoring young people, and the difference between just surviving and actually thriving. This is not a story wrapped up neatly. It is a real one. Everybody's is. And that is exactly why it belongs right here on Leading Our Own Way. This is Tuesday Truths. Make sure you come back for part two tomorrow with Steve. And if you haven't and you've missed it, part one, go back there. It's there waiting for you. Here's Steve and myself.
I think the most important lesson I learned, and I was able to grasp this as an athlete or person who was used to training, I understood physical fitness. As a phys ed teacher, I understood physical fitness. You know, if you want to run faster or quicker or be better, you know, or ride further, you have to do X, Y, and Z. You have to train each day. You have to stretch each day. You have to, engage in self-care. You have to eat well. So it was easy for me to understand that mental fitness is exactly the same. When, a psychologist said, hey, it's exactly the same. And Steve, how much work do you put into your physical body? I was like, oh, wow, I stretch every day. I get massage, I eat well, I ride my bike. He goes, are you putting the same effort and energy into your mental health and well-being? And the answer was not even close. And I think, we talk about mental health continuum. We talk about a journey, our mental health journey. But in order to be mentally fit, we have to do the work. You can't run a marathon without doing the work. Or you can, but it'll be very slow and you'll be very, very sore. So you can't be mentally fit and strong and be able to deal with challenges and trauma unless you've done the work. And I think that's the daily engagement with doing the work is what sets, athletes apart from general public. So it's hard. It takes discipline. It takes effort. It also is hard sometimes to improve your mental health journey. It takes daily work.
It does. Yeah, it really does. Before I come to the end and ask my few final questions, you mentioned before the journey through your own depression and that you went on to medications and things like that. How did that help you? How did that help your mindset around coming out of depression using those medications? Because some are against it and some people in the world are for it. So how did it help you and support you?
Yeah, look, I've probably experienced it about 3 times in my life at different stages. Initially, thought it was great. Early on, virtually no difference at all. But understand the sort of mechanics, I guess, around it, or the physiology around it. So the first time I went onto medication for sort of a 6-month period, felt like it did make an improvement and it did help change my mindset. In later life, I mentioned the challenges I faced when I was around sort of 56, being out of work and things like that. Found there wasn't much impact at all. So I think it's something worth discussing with your doctor and discussing with professional support or your psychologist, and it's something worth trying. I think there are different options and different things work for different people, but you certainly have to engage in some self-care routines, and if medication is going to improve your well-being, then again, if we had a cold, we'd take some Sudafed, or we'd take a Codral cough and flu, and we wouldn't think twice about it. But if we suffer from depression, we can't take those tablets. That means we're nuts. So there's that stigma again, and that sort of view that this is unhealthy. And I think medication is there when required or if required.
Yeah, good advice. Love it.
My first season in basketball is pretty special. So I often hear kids grumbling about their coach or what they're not allowed to do or allowed to do. So having a background in athletics, I had been a state high jumper. So I'd competed in sort of high jump as a state high jumper. So I could jump a little bit. Pretty much couldn't do anything else in basketball. And at the age of 18, I was playing under 18s in Bendigo. And the coach had basically some advice for me. And the advice was jump, grab it, and then hand it to someone. And I went, can I shoot it? Absolutely not. Can I dribble it? No, don't do that either. And I distinctly remember jumping and rebounding and then trying to put a shot back up, and I was subbed immediately. I missed, and I didn't really know how to shoot, so of course I was probably going to miss. But I got what we call an offensive rebound, went to shoot it back again, subbed immediately. 2 or 3 games later, jumped, rebound, took a dribble, and of course travelled or didn't understand that you had to bounce the ball continuously, and again subbed immediately and yelled out. So for an entire season, my job was to jump, rebound, and hand the ball to someone. And anything outside that was automatic sub. So I was a bit devastated when they won the grand final, but wasn't able to play a semi-final or a grand final because they were actually being held on a Sunday afternoon.
So you're being told by your father, and then your first season of playing basketball, you're getting told by the coach what you can and can't do as well.
Pretty much. So, yeah. So it was just one of those unique situations where I think I had no skill at all. And I came to Melbourne to phys ed college in first year phys ed college and started to play basketball and had to teach myself the game. And I think I really didn't understand the game till I was probably about 40. So I remember being involved with training down at a C-ball club, and the coach said, set a screen. And I said, what's that? So
C-ball level?
Yeah, C-ball level. I was trying to run around and train with some guys, and he said, can you go and set a screen? And I said, what's that? And he said, don't you know? I said, can you explain it to me? And he said, no, Steve, we don't have time for that. So
I mean, I know it's C-ball. It's I suppose anyone who's on the floor, you're thinking they do know what a screen is, right? You know, but to say you haven't got time for it, that's just like a repeating pattern of these coaches or mentors in your life. It just blows my mind. Oh my God.
So there was a lot of learning, and there's been a lot of learning. So
I mean, you played in some big tournaments and you played on courts with special people as well. So how do you get to that from not being able to understand learn the game of basketball at 40 even? Like that's
look, to be honest, I played a lot of basketball from 18 sort of onwards, but I don't think I really understood the game probably till I went to Masters, and there was guys in Masters that had played NBL who sort of took me under their wing and taught me, different ways to play. And I think the unique thing about the sport of basketball is I think you're always learning. So I had the beauty of playing with some amazing players at Worlds in 2002. So the first time I really played Masters was 2002 Melbourne. And I was picked in a team that was in Premier League by our club. So Mr. Legends had a Premier League team in the over 35s. And I was lucky enough to play with Andrew Parkinson and a couple of other NBL guys. And those guys took me under my wing and sort of taught me what to do and what role I could fulfill for that team. And that was a great challenge for me, but also was a pretty amazing experience.
Just taking a very quick break to thank our sponsor, SU Skincare. If you haven't heard of them, SU Skincare started right here in Australia, using Australian ingredients to make skincare straightforward and accessible, especially for men who want results without the fuss. Their journey took them all the way to the US, where they were featured in Macy's and over 300 stores. Now they're back with a fresh approach, focusing on healthy skin and authenticity for everyone. I'm proud to have SU Skincare as a sponsor on Leading Our Own Way. See the show notes for their website and to see how you can keep your skin healthy and confident. And if you're interested in sponsoring like SU Skincare, drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Now, right back to the episode.
And I think the challenge is what do I do tomorrow to thrive? So I had a fantastic training session this morning. So for an hour or so, hour and a half or so this morning when I was exercising, I was definitely thriving.
Good. I love it. That's the snippets, aren't they? More probably snippets than the long-term stay. But we're all working towards it, aren't we? That's for sure. Before I ask you my final question, this is the one question I've not told you I was going to ask. But if there was a question that you wish somebody would ask you, what would it be? What's the one question you wish people would ask you but they never do?
How best to thrive?
I like it. Can you answer that?
I think it's different for each person. But I think the notion is that we often settle for being perhaps okay.
Agreed.
And I think as men, and I have, some strong views around how we need to support men more. But as men, we often are okay. And okay, when people ask us, how was your day? Oh, yeah, good. How are you? I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay is not thriving. And I think often okay hides a lot of stuff. And sometimes we choose not to face up to the hard stuff, because the challenge is we have to make changes and figure out how to thrive.
Yeah, agreed. I always ask the guests what their purpose is. It's pretty crystal clear what your life purpose has been, but if you could put it into one powerful line, what would it be?
I see my purpose now as to perhaps share my life experience. So part of my purpose is this podcast. Hopefully it can help or support one other person. So I have this body or this bundle of life experience. If it can help or support anyone else, that's a good thing.
Agreed. I'm glad I opened up to you on the car park that day after you thrashed us. Steve, it's been an absolute pleasure joining us today. It really has. I'm so grateful that we've connected and we've become friends. I will still see you around you. I know you live on the other side of Melbourne, but we'll connect one day once again, I'm sure, in the basketball world.
Basketball tournament.
Yeah, man. Sure. I'd love to. I might take this season off, to be honest. My bones and my body's aching me at the moment. It's killing me. But there we go. Thanks for joining me on Leading Our Own Way. It's been an absolute pleasure connecting with you. Once again, thanks for being open, vulnerable, and trusting me, sharing your journey. And I'm glad it's part of your purpose. And we're going to help more than one person. This podcast, I feel, helps. It started off with helping one person, but I truly believe I want to aim for more than that now, and it's doing it. So you're going to help more than one person. I know it. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Really appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Anytime. Welcome back anytime. Thanks to everybody who's joining in every week. What you just witnessed is only a snippet of our amazing conversation this week. This is what Leading Our Own Way is all about. Real stories, real transformation. If you're watching this before Wednesday, part 1 dropped yesterday and part 2 releases tomorrow. But if you're already here after Wednesday, all parts are available now. Head to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts and every other major platform and look for the numbers on the bottom left-hand corner of the episode's covers to start with part 1. Trust me, you don't want to miss this incredible journey.